Hello, happy Thursday. Dr. Jessica here coming at you live. I'm just going to wait a little bit to see if we can get some people on, and there's kind of a delay on my end, or I guess on your end from when I start. There we are, I'm live. All right, so today we're going to be talking about 9 tips to getting better sleep at night. Sleep is really important right now because it helps with our immunity. Your body needs to sleep, and that is when we're in restorative mode. That's when your immune system becomes online, and that's when you get lots of good rest. It helps support that immune response. So I'm going to go through 9 ways that you're able to sleep better at night. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about white noise. White noise can be having a fan on while you're sleeping. It can be rolling waves. Sometimes people buy machines that specifically produce soothing noises. But what that's going to do for you is it's going to create a threshold of background noises that can go on that won't disrupt your sleep. So having that noise, if somebody comes home at 1 a.m. and they're opening and shutting the door, you're a lot less likely going to be able to sleep through that because you have a higher threshold of white noise going on. It's going to support that sleep then. Because if you ever fall asleep with the TV on and those commercials, they get louder, that's going to disrupt your sleep pattern. It's going to bring you up from those deep levels of sleep into that lower level of sleep, and that's when it's not as restorative for your body. So white noise is tip number 1. Tip number 2, cool temperature. So especially in the summer, I'm sure you've noticed that you struggle. You might be wake up in a sweat and you can't get back to sleep. Well, temperature is key for your body at night. We want to stick around 60 to 67 degrees is what research has shown to be the most effective sleep for you. So cooler temperatures, turn that thermostat on, get the AC going, especially as we're moving into spring and summer. This is also why basement level rooms, I think, are personally spoiled because the temperature is regulated a lot more for that sleep. Tip number 3, coffee. We all are drinking a lot of coffee right now because we have full access to our coffee machines, right? We're not supposed to have coffee after noon. So the half-life, or when half of the coffee that you drink gets out of your system, it's 3 to 5 hours. So you want to double that to really ensure that you're getting rid of all the coffee in your system. So we really need about 10 hours for the coffee to leave our body. Because what coffee does is it replaces these little receptors in our brain that tell us when we're getting tired. It kind of builds up as we go on through our day. If those receptors are filled with the coffee, it's going to keep you up. That's the whole mechanism. That's why it keeps you up. So we need to really stop drinking coffee after noon because we need the body to start absorbing the adenosine, which gets us tired. 4, alcohol. Alcohol consumption's probably up as well, but alcohol, you might think it gets you to sleep quickly, but it does prevent you from getting a full deep sleep. Your body kind of battles with itself. It's kind of in a confused mode where it stays at this lower light level of sleep, and it's also battling with that deep level sleep, so you're constantly switching back and forth. And this is why you might wake up at 2 a.m. after drinking some alcohol before bed, because your brain is more likely to be in that lighter sleep mode. So number 4, sorry to tell you, don't drink alcohol as much as you can, because that's really going to prevent your brain from functioning and getting to those lower levels of sleep. All right. Number 5 is really just going to bed at the same time every day and waking up at the same time every day. So what this does is it puts our body into its circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is when our body naturally wants to go to sleep. And your body has a memory. So even on the weekends, try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. There's lots of research around daylight savings time where there's more car accidents on the Monday after, there's more heart attacks because it is pretty stressful on your body, surprisingly. So go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, and you'll be able to get more effective sleep. And that was number 5. Number 6. Okay, so the people that really struggle with a racing mind and some anxiety, this is going to be for you. Put a notepad and a pen right next to your bed, because as you're starting to think through everything that you have to do the next day, you can start to jot it down and just think of it as like clearing your mind, right? Okay, I've addressed that. Now I can look at that notepad in the morning and not be going over the same thing in my mind because I know I wrote it down, so then it can leave your mind. So that's number 6 for people that struggle with that stressful anxiety response. All right, number 7, meditation. So meditation actually brings us to the closest brain waves that we can with sleep. If you get into really deep meditation, that is actually equivalent to REM sleep, which is our dreaming sleep. So obviously it's going to be able to translate into sleep. A lot of times if you're meditating before bed, you'll just naturally fall asleep. It'll also help with that anxiety and eliminate those thoughts because you're focusing on something else and you can't really focus on 2 things at once. So we'll remove that stress by getting you through either a guided meditation or just some music that you can listen to as you go off into bed. All right, number 8. So this is essential oils. I've used this personally, lavender. Lavender has been shown through studies to help support sleep. There is an essential oils class coming up through a few of my colleagues. I want to say April 16th. Okay, I wrote it down here. April 16th at 7 p.m. It's going to actually be on Zoom. They're going to touch on that a little bit, but it's really about the basics of essential oils. If it's something that you're interested in, but they'll also talk about a few other oils outside of lavender that will support your sleep. Feel free to comment below if you know any personal oils that help sleep. I'd love to learn more from you as well. And that's number 8. And number 9 is chiropractic. So that's usually the first thing that people say, is that they felt really tired after their first adjustment. And ever since then, they've had great nights of sleep. They feel more rested when they wake up. So hopefully you learned something. 1 through 9, you now have 9 tips to getting better sleep at night. And it's really going to support your body and support your immune system and help balance that stress that we're going through, because the less stress you have in your body, the more you're able to adapt specifically to viruses and bacteria and things that your body encounters. So thanks for joining me, everyone, and I will chat with you probably next week.